Hello and welcome to our next Partner Connect session. These events are for a great opportunity to meet some of our very wonderful and like-minded partners who we have as a member of promoting economic pluralism, has connected with a number of different groups to enable this festival to evolve and be organised. This evening in the Western Hemisphere, we have three partners. We've got WEAll, that's the Wellbeing Economic Alliance for Youth, and then we have Helene Schnelle from there, and we also have Policy Analysis with Thomas Barton and Dave Jarman, who's from the University of Bristol, from the Centre of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. The first up to tell us a bit about our organisation as the partnership lead, and in fact, and very new to the role, we just started last month. So I'm just going to bring Helena up as our first guest. So Helena, here we go. And you have some...
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you,
Great
Tori.
to have you here. Lovely. And I understand you've got a few short slides to cover information about your organisation. So I'll let you get on and tell us all about WEAll Youth. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so hello everyone. As Tori already mentioned, my name is Helene. I'm the partnership lead of WEAll Youth, and I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can have a look at our presentation. I hope you can see this now. Just briefly what WEAll Youth is about. So WEAll Youth stands for Wellbeing Economy Alliance Youth, and our goal is basically to unify people, especially young people, to work towards a wellbeing economy and to be part of the discussion of suggesting ideas for a well-being economy. So we are basically bringing together young people that want to engage in the topic, and we try to engage more and more young people so we can push forward the idea of a well-being economy. And what a well-being economy is essentially that basically we're targeting, or we want to push forward the idea of an economic system that is centered around people and planet, and that merely uses profits as a mean to reach that goal. So that's what we're trying to aim for. And a little bit about our history. So we actually came into existence as part of a university project. In 2018, we had a presentation from someone of WEAll at our university, and we were very eager and interested in the topic, but we also realized that as of now, there's no young people involved in the organization. And we felt it was a topic that is important for young people to also engage in, especially as economics are sometimes maybe a bit boring for young people, but this new strength, like this new section of economics and how the economic system could look like, we wanted to make that more interesting for young people and engage them in the conversation. So we started with actions at actually our university location in the Netherlands, and we organized different actions. This is our team. We are the core team that organizes WEAll Youth now, and we organize different actions. For example, we did a beach cleanup. We did a research project that looked into the sustainable lifestyle of young people. But we also organized a WEAll Learn event where we invited different partners, and they basically told exemplary stories of their companies and what way they are well-being business. So that's what we did in the past. And we've grown ever since. Right now we have 3 local hubs, and one is basically coming into existence. So we have local hubs in Melbourne, Uganda, and in Warwick, and one coming into existence in Scotland. And they're basically young groups of young people that are aiming to push forward the idea of a well-being economy in their local region. But then we also, on the other hand, have the global hub, which is basically for anyone from all over the world that can join in on these global hub calls that we have twice a month. And we basically try to set up projects that are targeted on the global context. And we form different project groups based on ideas that people bring forward for a project that we could initiate. but also based on maybe suggestions that come up from other organizations where we could get involved in other activities. So hub for me at least, and that's something that's very close to my heart, is that I'm engaging with a lot of different young people from all over the world, from Singapore to Scotland to Greece to South Africa. And it's really a great conversation I always have when we have these Global Hub calls, just to give you a little bit of an insight how it is like to work in the Global Hub or be involved. Yeah, what do we offer as an organization? Of course, we are youth-led, and all of us work on a voluntary basis, and everyone that is involved in the community is involved on a voluntary basis. But you do still get a lot out of it when you are involved in WEAll Youth, in my opinion. So first of all, we have this really international community that I mentioned before, of like-minded young people from all over the world. But also we have this big network from WEAll that we're in close contact with, and we can also utilize the expertise of the network that WEAll has, of all the professionals involved there. And they also give us great support in all the projects that we set up, so we can do even better projects, organize even better actions. And so that's also definitely something that we offer, the network that we have and the connection to WEAll. And then, of course, that young people can also join on projects. They get access to certain events, but also you have the chance to write blog posts. So that's really something, if you want to do something, be involved, and not just sit around and wait for change to happen, then we're the ones to get engaged, to become part of. And this is an example of, for example, blog posts that were written in the past by members of WEAll Youth, and then we publish them, and it's a great way to just share your opinion about a certain topic, well-being or economy related, just to give you a little bit of an impression. We also do a lot on social media, and if you want to stay updated about what we're doing, what WEAll Youth is up to, and our new projects, you'll always find it on our social media channels, especially we're quite active on Instagram. So please have a look. And that's it from my side.
That was lovely. Really a nice overview, and very fresh to hear. I wish organisations like yours existed when I was a lot younger, because I don't think they did. And this is something I did want to just ask you straight off: is how did when you were younger, did you joined just this month? How did you find out about the role in the organisation in WEAll? Was it advertised and then you?
So I've been involved in WEAll Youth since the start, but my roles changed over on the way, basically. But our community actually grew a lot, especially in the past year. We got a lot more traction going, a lot more people wanted to be involved. So that's actually now why we extended also our core team that we have, that basically organizes these Global Hub calls and does basically all the stuff behind the scenes. So actually we had some people joining us, and that was based on a vacancy.
So I'm asking specifically because it's how your organization, you explained very well how it's evolved and grown, but it's how young people who might be listening to this can actually find out and be part of it as well. I mean, what sort of skills are people in your organization looking for from young people to join?
I think the main thing is that they are motivated to be involved, and that they also want to change something. I think that's the main thing that we're looking for. If you have the main intrinsic motivation to really do something about it, then you're more than welcome to join. What we usually do is, when someone is interested, we either get a message on our social media channels, or we get an email from young people interested, and we just have a call with them and see what skills they could bring to our community, and try to also utilize their strength, because everyone, of course, has different skills, a different background, different university degree they're following. So we're trying to utilize every strength in our community in the best way possible.
So there isn't a set sort of criteria or anything. You don't have a measure. I see. That sounds good. So anybody on the floor, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them on the Q&A section on the right of the screen. But as we wait for those, the other thing I would like to ask you, Helena, is about your recent projects. What's been particularly successful? What stands out? I mean, there's some lovely things you showed on the presentation, but which one have you felt particularly engaged with?
So me personally, I've been involved in, actually the WWF, they're launching a well-being economy report. So they're basically also promoting the idea of a well-being economy. And we as WEAll Youth have been involved in promoting that. So they're actually launching a campaign, I think, end of September. So it's, I think, going to happen in like a week or two. And we've been involved in the campaign and setting that up. And that was especially also my role and my engagement. But otherwise, we're also working on an open letter that our Global Hub, one of the Global Hub project teams is working on, looking also at building back better, the entire movement of after COVID times. And we put together 6 requests. And actually, we're now working on trying to get more feedback, more input from everyone of our community to make that open letter even better. So those are kind of the projects that we're
one
focusing on
thing you
right
just
now.
said there was a real point of timeliness in terms of COVID-19. How has that brought more focus to engaging younger people to really have an opportunity to make a difference? Do you think what sort of impact do you think it's had?
I mean, what I definitely see is that young people are more eager to also get involved in those global communities. So our global hub actually grew a lot in COVID times because people were forced to, stay home and actually we're kind of getting more used to this online setting. And I think before it might have been a bit more of a barrier to people because, of course, it's weird if you're in a call, you don't know anyone. But now, due to COVID times, I think every young person has been exposed to that situation before. So I think the barrier has been a lot lower now to actually engage in our global hub calls. So we actually got a lot more members.
Good.
In
That's
COVID
great to
times
hear.
now.
So we have a really interesting question
Yeah.
from Henry, who you may have met already, I'm sure, and we'll get Henry up here actually. Henry, do you want to put your mic and camera on just for this question? It's a really good question, in fact, and we've had a lot of activity. I live in Bristol in the UK, and we've had a lot of activity with XR, and Henry's question is, why do you think the young are particularly drawn to WEAll as opposed to XR, Extinction Rebellion, for instance?
I was just thinking, Helena, that the challenge of WEAll or Wellbeing Economy Alliance is that it can feel a bit amorphous, whereas if you're XR and you're going to march for climate change or something, it seems people might feel it's more immediate and specific.
It's actually quite interesting that you're asking this question because just this morning I had a call with someone that is interested in joining our community. And he also told me that he was first looking into maybe joining Fridays for Futures, they're also really this action-based movement going on the streets, demonstrating, but he didn't feel like there was much going on behind it. Of course, there's so much traction around Fridays for Future, but really the root work and where you also need change to happen is in like writing briefing papers or also doing those kind of things as well. So I think he was also really drawn to starting and tackling the root issues and looking deeply into ways how we could actually do it and not just going out there and demonstrating for what is going wrong or you should do this, but really requesting or like suggesting a way of how to move forward. So I think that's why people are drawn to WEAll because it's really this model that they are giving.
That makes sense. And actually, it might just yeah, it is. So, Henry, you're welcome to stay, I think. And Dave might be good to get you to join us, please, Dave, because his question is really very pertinent to what we were just talking about, is how would young people go about developing another hub in a new place? I mean, how do you support that kind of self-organizing? So, Dave.
Yeah. First of all, Dave, thank you for the question. Yeah, so basically what we do, we also, of course, have an initial call with them, but we help them throughout the process. We have a hub guide written down, which lines out each step on how they can go about developing a hub. We have someone particularly supporting them on the way towards becoming. So they have really a contact person to ask any questions from our team. But generally, of course, also the self-organizing aspect, they of course have the freedom to do what they think is right for their particular location in terms of pushing forward the idea of a well-being economy. But those should all still be in line with our own mission and vision of WEAll Youth. So we kind of have an agreement. We always sign an MOU, that's kind of the legal part of it. So a memorandum of understanding between us and the hubs, so that they're all in line with our mission and vision and don't do whatever. But yeah, otherwise they also have all the freedom to do what they feel.
Okay, because I was just going to ask about the sort of that idea of a sort of, is there a threshold of quality or competence or mission that they have to kind of sign up to be able to sort of officially list themselves?
I mean, as I just also said earlier, there are no like any qualifications they need to show, or no like skills they need to really demonstrate us. I think it's really that they should show us the strategy, how they want to go about creating a hub, and what their strategic focus areas will be, what they will be working on. And if we agree that this is in line with our mission and vision, then we can move forward. But yeah, I think
I was going to say, do these tend to be obviously groups from a particular place, but is it almost as specific as like a given university or similar that you tend to get approaches from?
Mostly it's a group of people that met in university, or we also had one hub that was actually beforehand like they were a group before in the university, and then said, okay, yeah, we want to be part of WEAll Youth. So sometimes they even exist before those groups, and sometimes they just form for the purpose, but usually they're university based and know each other from university. Yeah,
that's great. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you for your question.
And Helena, I think that's it for now, but you will be coming back hopefully a bit later and join more of a panel discussion. But thanks, that's really, really helpful to get that view overall of what your organisation does. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.